how the county does it? I mean, if the tax bill were $100, you would still take a house?
Typically, if the property tax bill is $100, that means the assessed value of the property is very small. So yes, there are instances where there are very small assessed value or very small tax bills with properties that also have lower assessed values.
I find it strange here that every other tax year was paid. Don't you think by the time of the sale that the county would have said, wait a minute, every other tax bill has been paid, something went awry here?
I think they were well aware of what went awry, that there was something that had gone awry in the situation. And this particular issue that had gone awry is the tax bill that had not been challenged, had not been paid, even
had been well, I do have a question, and Mr. Liu's answer raised it in my mind. It's one thing to say that an auction price reflects the just compensation when it's close to or at the time of the taking. But once you separate out the point of just compensation, which is when you've taken it, which you seem to agree, it's the time you took title, and let's assume Mr. Liu's answer and no redemption, and redemption rights have expired. What permits you to hold on to that property until it secures the lowest value? Meaning, I can assume that just compensation is just as an auction price if the auction is close to the taking. But if it's not, how do I make that leap?
So two responses to your question, Justice Sotomayor. First, with regard to the timing here. The timing here was somewhat unusual because the actual foreclosure was challenged, and so there was multi-year litigation all the way through the Michigan Supreme Court with regard to the underlying foreclosure. So
I will put that the foreclosure, the taking is when that finishes. Okay.
So when the foreclosure judgment was reinstated, there was a period of time for redemption, and there was not enough time to notice the property for the next regularly scheduled auction for these properties. So the counties hold two auctions for these properties, one in July or August, and then one typically in September or October. That is the normal process.
Do you know what the historical practice was on this issue? Was the historical practice more that what happens in federal lien law, or is this a new creation by states that they foreclose, keep the property as long as they want, and sell it when they want to?
No, Your Honor. I don't believe there's anything that I've seen with regard to specifically how long after the foreclosure occurs that the auction sale must happen.
That's one of the things that hasn't been briefed, but it is an important question in my own mind. All right. Thank you.
Well, Mr. Liu